Okay, students, good day. For today's lesson, we will be discussing the first lesson for this finals. We have here work and women in the Philippines. So this presentation is all about women and how they work in our country. So sa totoo lang, grabe ang mga babae sa Pilipinas, how much they have this work. However, the work they had, grabe sila ka-effort mag-work, ha? But they still face so many issues, especially in the labor force. Like, we're talking about, example, income gaps, no? Bias sa workplace. And also, in some cases, a lack of recognition, no, of women in the workplace. And what's super interesting is that no, kahit ang daming barriers na na-experience ng mga babae, still they are super active in the workforce, especially from the corporate world to OFW. Pero ang struggle is real. It's not just about having jobs. It's about how they treated and valued these jobs. No? I observed that medyo mas women value more their work than men. Grabe jud ako ang ma-observe no nas grabe mas mo-appreciate og taman ang mga babae kaysa sa lalaki in terms of work. So we should understand women's multiple burdens. So it's like they don't just work in office or businesses. They also work at home, no? Kumbaga pa grabe ang atong mga mama, no? Based atong example gud sa video nga akong gipakita sa inyo sa una, di ba? Aside from doing household chores, aside from doing work home, especially nagpakaon sa anak, nagpakaon sa asawa, no? So aside from that, napud si trabaho sa gawas. So kumbaga pa, we have this what we call double day, no? In Bisaya pa, duha ka trabaho, no? And duha ka trabaho, isa ra pud ka sweldo, o di ba? Na di ay na sweldo ang mga babae, no, kung magbantay sila silang anak or sa mamapaw sa anak, because that's part of having a family. Kaya nga yung suggestion ko noon or sa baday, the ideal talaga is that men and women, no, kung minyo mo, you should work hand in hand, especially in doing household chores or any house related jobs or work, especially pagbantay sa mga anak, papadako sa mga anak. Di dapat na siya ipakuan lang sa mga babae o sa mga mama. And di ba kung magtrabaho sila sa silang balay, after their job, kailangan pa nila magluto, maglaba, mag-atiman sa mga bata, or even kung naitiguan silang balay or parents. But the society still expects na sila dapat una sa balay. No? Ang ilaw ng tahanan. Una sa balay. Then, of course, sa trabaho, they expected to perform like walang other responsibilities. And that's unfair, no? Because what's worse, some employees think na di sila pwede ma-promote or ma-hire because pasig mag-maternity leave lang or dili fully committed. Like seriously, na mga employees. So here, this is really about gender roles na hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin balance, no? Women carry mental load that is invisible sa marami. Para maging fair ang companies, no? I mean, the company should construct or create policies na gender responsive, like kung meron tayong maternity leave, meron din tayong paternity leave rin naman. Para din no, that they can share the reproductive work. But the maternity leave talaga is medyo longer days talaga yung maternity leave. Of course naman, based on the law, I think it's 90 days or I forgot, basta it's more than 90 days siguro. But the paternity leave that we have is 7 days. And to cater also that the father also can still work his responsibility as father. Yan. Now, let me give you an example. No? So, example, si Kelly, nagtrabaho sa Hong Kong as domestic helper, pero every night after work, nag-video call pa rin siya sa iyang mga anak sa gawas para mutabang sa assignment siyang anak. Di ba na yung mga parents, no? Kanang nagtrabaho sa gawas, unya muhatag pagid siya og time to answer the assignments of the children. Ang papa di ay, no? Nagpadala ng allowance, pero to tell you, some of these OFW emotionally burdened na sila kasi of course ningawon pa silang family food na nasa Pinas. And aside another example ito si Ma'am Jelly, no? Si Ma'am Jelly is a public school teacher, no? Public school teacher siya. So, teacher siya sa umaga, and of course, sa gabi, nanay siya. Example na siya mga anak. Of course, morning, nag-alaga siya sa mga bata. Eh, man ang responsibilities, no? Ang mga bantayan ng mga estudyante, mga mag-alaga sa magtrabaho sa eskwelahan, no? Pero pag abot sa balay, of course, mag-alaga pa sa mga anak, magluto, maglaba, tapos mag-check pa ng papel. So karon, wala na siya time for herself, no? That's a double work, no? That's zero recognition. That's why it's dapat ragyahapon no nga na ay yung mga public school teacher ngayon na nasa like ng 1 month non-interrupted vacation because regalo na sila. I mean, dapat na po gina sila. Kay murag wala na sila time for themselves talaga or to take care herself. Ano man, just like what I mentioned no, menu na ganit ka, nag-public school teacher pa ka, trabaho ka sa umaga, trabaho po ka sa gabi eh. So murag wala na siya kay me time. Yan yung mga kulang ng mga women talaga in the workplace, no, the me time. Now, we have here the nature of women's paid work. Of course, we have part-time employment. We also have informal labor, overseas migration, and hazardous occupations. So women choose part-time work to balance our reproductive responsibilities, resulting in less job security, lower wages, and reduced social protection. Of course naman, kay full-time mom, naman ka, full-time mom, so you should take care of your children, kay ang papa ang nag-work. So these women or parents, no, women choose na lang to have a part-time job kasi they wanted to be a full-time mom. Then, gusto po nila mas maka-income na lang po while being a full-time mom. That's why they choose part-time job. But part-time employment, no, just like what is being mentioned here, it has a less job security, lower wages, o reduced social protection, which is true. Mo na ang benefit na makuha sa mga part-time jobbers, less ilang security. Next is informal labor. So women often participate in informal economies where they face casual employment status, making them vulnerable to exploitation and lower pay. Na yung kanang basta dili siya kanang pang long term na trabaho. No? Mo engage na ang mga mama or women into that, no, because again, natunga man gud ilang job. They have this job in their house. Pero kung single ka nga women, wala problema ng mga single na women because again, wala man siya other responsibilities sa mga single na women unless naa siya gibuhi pud nga pamilya sa ilaha, no? Na may mga ingana mga women because ingana ka caring ang mga babae. No nga, even though single siya but they should take care of his or her mga manghod or mga mama or iyang papa siguro nga tiguang na. Yan. Overseas migration. Limited domestic opportunities force many women to seek abroad, often in care industries where they face unique challenges and vulnerabilities. Take note, lahi ang environment sa gawas of the race. Of course, they might face challenges that siguro murag unusual, no, nga wala diri nga I mean ilahi diri ug lahi po dito, especially mga culture na sa laing nasod. That's why kung mag-work ang mga babae dito, they should adapt easily. Kay kung di sila maka-adapt, maka-experience silang struggle og mga different challenges later on, no? Aside anang katong common example sa mga OFW, no, nagabantay ikaw mama naka-anak sa Pilipinas, kailangan mo mag-abroad because you need to suffice the needs of your family. Then nag-work na ka sa abroad para magbantay laing anak, hindi mo anak wala na bantayan sa Pilipinas. Then stricto pud sa laing nasod because bawal ka mag-cellphone, di ba? Bawal ka mag-gadget. You should work is work. That's why paggabi konti na lang yung time to kaya nga ma-amaze ko if ang parents is nag-work pa abroad at the same time nag-video call pa sa ilang mga anak to help the assignments or the academic papers or work sa ilang mga anak. Like yung anak, no, grabe ka effort. Like nagani, nagtrabaho sa gawas, it's a double recognition talaga. Like kakapuya na uy. Next, you also have hazardous occupations, no? economic necessity may push women into dangerous jobs with minimal protections or security rather. And take note that if women are working, not all of them have ideal jobs, no? Just like what I mentioned kanina, a lot go for part-time kasi they need to still manage the house, bantay sa mga anak. Others have informal jobs kasi na walang klarong benefits or security. And some, yung sinabi ko, mag-abroad, no? It's not about having a job. It's about having a stable and safe and gives a proper pay. Dili makita how women work is undervalued or unprotected in so many sectors. Example, ito. Si May nag-live selling sa Facebook. Pero since informal man yun, wala siyang SSS, wala siyang PhilHealth, wala siyang benefits na makuha. So, isa lang na, kung magsakit siya, di ba? Magsakit siya, wala siyang income for a week, di ba? Unlike kung magsakit ka kung naka-formal nga trabaho, niya magsakit ka, pwede ka mag-file og sick leave. Yan, di ba? Example, si Jenny nag-work sa construction, no? Si Jenny nagtrabaho sa construction site, wala siya PPE, tapos minimum wage lang. So ginawa niya yun kasi walang ibang available work kahit risky, no? Murag napilitan ba na pugos na yung mga nga nga job nga ay bahala na niyo basta na lang ko trabaho, no? At least kani nga trabaho po is okay siya pero minimum wages, like high risk siya nga job. Yan. So women and small and medium enterprises, we have here a data, no? 85,074 new online businesses, 84% female ownership, and global ranking. Philippines ranks second globally in women's MSME participation next to Peru. So, no, it's a good indicator ni siya because most of the new online businesses in the Philippines are owned by women. So super galing. Like many of them still struggle kasi kulang sila sa business knowledge and minsan nagsa-stop sila because they have to go back to family duties. Now, women are actually very entrepreneurial. No? Kumbaga pa, mas business-minded ang babae kaysa lalaki. But however, there is a problem because kulang lang sila ng support system. That's why our government, no, they need to conduct more training programs or businesses, mentorship or time sharing at home para ang business aning atong mga babae or women, they can keep growing their businesses. For example, no, si Krisha nag-start siya og milk tea businesses online, no? Kumita siya for a few months, pero when her kids need tutoring full-time, nag-close siya. So wala siya katulong sa bahay. So that's why there must be a proper training on how to manage because na siya business online na milk tea, pero kailangan niya mag-stop sa work for today because kailangan sa niya mag-tutor sa iyang anak, no? So yung income niya supposedly that time, nagigahin sa iyang anak, no, nawala. So I think no na yung mga plan or intervention ba or sa mentorship program on how to deal with that kind of situation. Yan. Example si Irene, no? Irene joined a DTI seminar under the Great Women Project. Now she knows about branding and inventory, and because of this kind of seminar that she attended, no, of course, nag-boom yung business. No? That's example lang ha. One of na murag apil na siya sa top 10 no sa most influential women in terms of business. Kaya nga naapoy dapat ning women should be given also privilege to attend this kind of mga seminars about business programs, business mentorship, no, microloans, MSME, micro system management enterprise, para po ang mga women po no, they know how to manage if in case na sila mga struggles na ma-encounters to silang business or new business or small businesses or tapos sila time to deal with how to make no more profit based on their own businesses. In terms of agricultural and rural setting, no, women plays a vital role at all levels of agricultural production. We have these multiple roles: landless laborers, dealers, manufacturing agents. However, one of the barriers, no, of this agricultural and rural setting experienced by women is the limited access to resources, credit, education, and decision making. Baga pa, no, Take note that agriculture is one of the second largest sector for women's employment in our country, and that is based on the Asian Development Bank. However, female farmers face numerous challenges: inadequate access to production inputs, limited financial services, sometimes discrimination for agricultural work because lagi yan na sila na panglalaki lang daw yung job, no? So the recognition of male adults as household heads in the country or the community often prevents women from being regarded as agricultural holders, no? And that's one of the main reason because of the bias that men should lead in any aspect talaga, maapektuhan po ang decision making sa mga babae. Yeah? And I don't know if nabi mas makarelate ani dira. I do hope if kung kisa matong na taga rural area dire, I think makarelate mo no, maka-observe mo no that women do a lot, no? Farming, selling, sometimes even manufacturing. But they don't get the same rights as men, like access to land, loans, or decision making roles, no? Like they're doing all the work pero invisible pa rin sila. Take note that women in it, no, in the agricultural industry, women often seen as helpers lang. In terms of decision making, mas na-prioritize, no, sa mga tao ang desisyon sa mga lalaki in terms of agriculture, no? So that's because of the thinking paghihapon, no, I mean still the stereotyping na nangyayari, no, na dili pang agricultural na work ang mga babae. Yeah, no, that's actually it's outdated, no? And we need to fix that one by recognizing them officially as farmers and of course giving women equal access. Um, Based on the observation also, no, ito talaga yung observe ko when I fill in the my biodata or biography. For example, ay kasi my family kasi is both farmers, no? For both farmers kasi yung mama at saka papa ko. Now, ang ginalagay lang talaga doon, no? I know if ay mura naka-observe ko to ani. For example, common work, no, sa mga mama, housekeeper. Sa papa is farmer. Nakaana jud ko. Nga dili na ako pwede buta ako mama nga farmer man pud ako mama. Di lang man siya housekeeper. No, so kaya nga na-change na siya nga mindset nako na when I started college no nga pag-apply nako dito, pagsulat sa mama din ang work, ako yung gibutang silang duha farmer. No, because my mama is not just like a farmer but also is not just a housekeeper but also a farmer, no? Kumbaga pagani mas hawd pagani in terms of mas knowledgeable pagani akong mama in terms of agricultural na mga aspect compared sa akong papa, no? That's my observation. No? Even other families also sa among barangay kasi naman ni Palayan, no, in terms of Palayan at saka Manggahan, mas nangingimabaw ang knowledge ng mga babae sa amin compared sa lalaki. But again, they often interpreted, no, by other people na ay panglalaki man gid siya. Just like sa amuan, no, ma-observe jud nako na siya. Majority biya sa among mga landlords or tag-iya sa yuta or sa tag-iya sa Basakan or Palayan, mga lalaki ang tag-iya, wala kaayo ko nakita kay sa mga babae but nag-change na siya karon, no, na-observe na ako karon, nagkadagan-dagan na karon na ang naga-maintain na dito sa amuha karon, nanay mga women nga naga-work po sa Palayan, no? One of example kay ang ako ang mama. Yan. Now let's have Filipinos women as overseas workers, no? The migration of some of the Filipino women, especially itong mga anak, to work abroad to suffice the needs of their family here in our country. And that's very, very common talaga na senaryo. Mga abroad ang mama, kaya ilang anak para na panggastos diri sa kuan sa Pilipinas, no? Yan, binuangan lang sa mga anak diri sa Pilipinas. My God, binuangan lang sa asawa diri sa Pilipinas. My God. Now, class, since 1970s, no, napakaraming Pinays na naging OFW. Mostly in care work or services, like in nurses, domestic helpers, or mga manufacturers, no? But even they earn more, no, the risk is high. Minsan low pay pa gani sila. Minsan abuso ng mga employers, no? Usahay common ni illegal recruiters. Yan. That's super vulnerable. The feminization of labor abroad, it shows how the world depends on Filipinas for care work. But ironically, they suffer the most, no? We need to have a better protection system and post-return support. Example, no? Si Juvie is a kayaya for 8 years. She worked 12 hours a day with no day off. Oy, kakapira na. Then when she complained, pinauwi siya sa ilang balay, sa Pilipinas without pay. Buti na lang, meron tayong Balik Pinay, Balik Hanap Buhay program, and because of that kind of program of our government, no, she started her own business. Example, si Dayan, no? She migrated in the UK as caregiver, no? She had to leave her 2 kids in the Davao for 6 years. Now, may trauma na yung mga anak kasi they grew up without her. May mga anak cases. Ubang mga anak, di na mo ilan silang mama, kay gibiyaan pa lang daan, pagkabata pa lang daan, no? Let me share to you a scenario because I have this neighbor, no? Nag-work siya as domestic helper sa Qatar. Qatar yun siya. And then, to cut the story short na lang, the missing ni siya, like wala siya contact sa iyang family since 2010, no? She started working as a domestic helper 2004. 6 years after, in that 6 years, dapat sila constant communication. But the year 2010, wala na siya communication. As in, legit jud nga, wala jud na siya communication. No? Kumbaga pa, ang family na nangita nagparaan para para malukit ang ilang anak dito, yung anak dito, nangita na jud og paraan nga kuan lagi sa para makita, then wala gyud, but because of the nakatakas magud ni siya no siyang amo kay ginaano siya kanang ginaabuso siyang amo, ya super lupit talaga yung mga amo doon niya no, like wala siya day off, less pay pa, gamay pagkakamali, may deductions. So na opportunity nga nakatakas siya and niadto siya sa OWA sa may embassy itself sa Kuwait sa Pilipinas. And that's the time, due to social media also, yan, nagkita ra gid sila na contact na gud balik ug nakauli pud ang babae. So karon ang ilang anak na babae karon kay nag-build ng family karon dito sa Pilipinas, but the trauma are still there, no? Sometimes nag-undergo gyapon siya og kanang family therapy because of what she had experienced doon. No, grabe. My ate is, I have also an ate na domestic helper sa Kuwait, no? And kung siya nag-work, murag 2014 siya nag-start as domestic helper. So 10 years na siya as domestic helper. Then, na siya isa ka-anak. And, well, nagdako man yung anak noon po at the age of mga around 4 to 5 years old na pa yung anak. But, of course, gusto man niya manabaho sa gawas, of course naman, para po mo suffice sa needs yung anak. Nagdako na yung anak karon, no? But at least, nagyan po sila constant communication. But still, no, the work there sa kong ate is, aside na hago siya, of course, mamiss po niya yung anak diri sa Pilipinas. Next. We have here an example of the women and domestic sphere. First, glorified confinement. Women's authority in the domestic sphere often mask economic dependence on men's income. Bitaw, no? It's very common, no? Ano lang panarbaho dira ka sa balay, ako nalay bahala dara sa mga sa panggastusin sa bahay. Well, that's the reality nga na experience because yeah, that's true, no? Nga makanagog ko sulat na lang karapatan magtrabaho, so magsalig na lang gyud ang babae sa sweldo sa siyang asawa. Well, kung buotan niyang asawa, kung dili hilig mamuyboy, maayo. No, pero kung ikaw babae, magsalig lang ka always, as sooner or later, na-adjust possible na mahitabo na it's either mamuyboy ka or mamuyboy ang asawa or magpangita jud ka og imong trabaho kay murag kulang ba makulangan ka nga magpundo lang sa balay. Next is limited economic power. Women's spending power is restricted to husband salaries or allowances. Yeah, kana lagi nagsalig sa sweldo sa husband, no? Dili ka makagastos sa imong gusto because again, nagsalig ra mo ka sa sweldo sa imong bana, ba? Unless imong bana is super kadato, no? gi-spoil ka kana maayo. So girls, no, better find man na kaya kang buhion. Kaya mo kanang maka-afford sa inyong gusto. Because namang nga nga mahitabo or na nga nga cases na ay nagtrabaho love, bantay lang atong anak kung naibala sa tong trabaho. Yeah? Pero I think we need to eliminate that kind of mindset because wala ta kabalo in the long run, no, sa workplace sa lalaki. Malay mo magkasakit ang lalaki, example lang, or mawalan og trabaho. So karon kung ikaw babae nagsalig na ka sa sweldo sa imong bana, unya karon pinakalit na wala trabaho imong bana, asa mo mangita karong income, pang source of income, di ba? So as long as na savings, maayo ko na savings, but better po jud na na-adjust ko ano, I mean, kung gustuhon lang sa babae nga magtrabaho, i-allow na lang po sa bana or sa husband. Next, supplementary income. Many women work in informal or casual jobs to augment family income, which is true. No, dili na lang pang long term ilang job because again they have other responsibilities sa ilang balay. That's why matunga siya. That's why they opt to work into informal or casual jobs only, pang part-time job. Class privilege. Only middle or upper class women can afford to stay at home, often hiring poorer women as domestic help, which is true. No? Yan ang mga nangyayari. Kung dato lang jugay ka, kung nakatrabaho, mga hire, no? Mga hire o yaya para mubantay sa mga anak o mubuhat sa mga trabaho sa balay. Well, that's the reality po na hitabo din sa Pilipinas, di ba? Kung nga lang jumikaya, lang yun. Then, the problem lang is that sometimes, no, of course, the mom, no, naman ko ginatawag na mom responsibility. So ang trabaho karon sa mama is that nahatag na sa yaya, especially kadang pang mama kung trabaho. Kaya nga kung kamo, if you have if soon you will be planning to have yaya for your children, no, I think you should have time also with your children, no? Di lang sa iasa dapat sa imuhang mga yaya. Kaya nga you should give your yayas day off, no, para ang mga yaya po maka-experience po na sila o to meet with their children po silang balay. Then kamo po as mother and father na po mo family time or family bonding time with your family, no? Kay murag need na siya kay kung sige lang mo trabaho, ang imo mga anak gusto makipag-meet sa imo, gusto makipag-stress sa imo ha, nya imo gyud na trabaho, no? So sa yaya na lang siya. So kumbaga pa nahulog na, mas hawd pa ang yaya sa mga gusto sa imong mga anak. Kaya nga you should give time talaga as women, no, to have I mean to have family time also, especially sa mga papa, no. Murag bihira lang siguro kaayo ang mga sa gitawag nila ka ng mga anak gani na into papa kay murag siguro they get along with their papa, no, than like their mama. Yan. Next, no? The I think you are already aware of this one. Different protective legislations for women workers, no? The Magna Carta for Women, the Magna Carta for MSME yung mga micro system, ano nga mga entrepreneurial na mga job, no? Then RA 10151 Night Workers Act expands women employment options by allowing night shift work. We also have RA 10361 Domestic Workers Act. Thank God, no, because we have these laws to protect women's rights sa trabaho. Example, the Magna Carta for Women, Night Works Act, Domestic Works Act, or other laws, no? These laws give women more rights like safer work conditions, more options, at the same time better pay. And the laws are solid on paper, but again, na yung mga laws no na kulang lang sa implementation. That's where advocacy and enforcement come in. We need to ensure these rights are actually felt by women, not just written in their paper. Yan. So example, si Rose, no? Kasambahay sa Manila, hindi binibigyan ng rest day before, pero after Republic Act 10361, no, may kontrata na siya and proper pay. Class, kabalo ba mo sa una mga kasambahay, mga katabang dito sa laing nasod? Class, wala, dyan na sila SSS benefit, pag-ibig benefit, wala day off, no? But due to this Republic Act, no, kaya nga kung ikaw mga apply kag domestic helper, you should ensure na aba mo'y madawat ng mga benefits. Mobayad ba si employer sa SSS? Siya ba mobayad sa imuhang pag-ibig? Siya ba mobayad sa imong PhilHealth? Yan, because these are ano no, basic rights talaga sa mga trabahante. Yan, no? Sa una wala kay nga di gyud na uso. So karon, yan, we should ask no if naaba na siya. Example sa kong kuya no, na siya duwa ka yaya. Aside na naa siya'y na-sweldo every month, then akong kuya siya ang nagabayad sa SSS Pag-ibig o PhilHealth no sa iyang mga duwa ka yaya. Oh, yeah. Kung kuya kay duwa ka jud iyang yaya, alang-alang kay may pulos iyang asawa no. Ay, sares, ay may trabaho-trabaho iyang asawa. Siguro gano. Ang iyang upat ka anak nara sa yaya puros. Next, let me share to you this case study about this airline industry discrimination. No? In 2004, female flight attendants sued PAL no, for gender discrimination based on their collective bargaining agreement policy. The policy compulsorily retired female flight attendants at the age of 55, while allowing male flight attendants to continue working until age 60. So medyo bias siya because compulsory means required na jud mo retire at the age of 55. Meanwhile, sa mga lalaki, 60. Now, the legal issues here, the case raised important questions about gender-based discrimination, especially in the employment policies and the legality of the different retirement age based solely on gender. It highlighted how industry practices can perpetuate gender stereotypes and limit women's career longevity and earning potential. This case exemplifies how gender discrimination can be institutionalized in formal policies, even in major corporations. So it demonstrates that the need for government intervention to regulate minimum qualifications and prevent discriminatory practices based on sex when hiring and retaining employees. And this kind of case study or issue, this landmark case illustrates how gender discrimination can be embedded in corporate policies and the importance of legal challenges to ensure equal treatment in the workplace. Wala ta kabalo, class, na sa laing corporate industry po, tingnan na po di ay nga mas sayo mag-force no retirement ang mga babae kaysa lalaki, no? Bata kabalo nga na. That's a case of the PAL. But again, the karon na okay na siya, na fix na siya, na balance na siya that the forced retirement is 60, not 55 for women. No, grabe. PAL talaga, no? PAL force flight attendants to retire at the 55, pero yung mga lalaki 60, no? Wait lang. Wait lang, bakit? Bakit PAL? Parang gano'n. There's still a gender discrimination. Even though, kana palang daan, the longevity of the work, no? 60 ang forced retirement sa lalaki, 55 sa babae. That's unfair. Yeah, what makes PAL think na dili sila dapat equal? Yan, no? This really shows no how big corporations can have is sexist policies. No, sometimes it's not even obvious until someone challenges it, no? Kung wala lang yun ni fight against that one, no? Again na kung wala lang yung babae nga ni fight ana, sus wala gyud na siya nalihok until now, no? So women speaking up is so powerful kasi it forces change not just for them but also for the everyone. Next, this will be the last slide, no? The key takeaways and future directions. Of course, true gender equity requires equal valuation of traditional gender duties, recognizing economic importance of reproductive work. For another is education and training, expanding women's access to education, skills training, and entrepreneurial knowledge is crucial for improving their economic opportunities and security. Next, shared responsibilities. That's why no, many times na ako gina-mention that men and women should work hand in hand, no? Encouraging men's participation in domestic and care work is essential for reducing women's multiple burdens and enabling their full economic participation, no? Kung motrabaho ang babae, trabaho po ang lalaki. Kung motrabaho ang babae sa balay, motrabaho po siya dapat sa balay. Yan. Policy implementation. While protective legislation exists, effective implementation and enforcement remain challenges that require ongoing attention and advocacy. So, women's work is everywhere, in home, in businesses, in fields, abroad. But up until now, they are unvalued, no? And the future is about valuing, caring for work, sharing responsibilities, and training and enforcing laws. If we want true gender equality, we need to change both policies and culture. It's not enough to say babae at lalaki pantay-pantay, no? Dapat rin dapat din equal ang expectations and opportunities, no? Example, si Mark started doing chores equally at home and encouraged paternity leave in his workplace, no? Di lang dapat babae always ang mag-adjust. Yan. Si Faith, no? She took his scholarship DTI funded training for women entrepreneurs. Now, she mentors other moms in their barangay to start small businesses but sustainable businesses also. So like after everything we have learned in this lesson, one thing is super clear talaga that Filipino women are warriors. They carry so much from their families to the economy and still rise, no, despite of the struggles they have experienced. Pero class, dapat hindi lang sila i-admired, no? They have our full support, no, they deserve to have our full support, equal chances, and at the same time real recognition. This is not just about women issue, it's about societal mission that we need to empower more our women. We should lift entire communities. We should create a future not just fair but a fierce and flourishing future, especially for women. That's why as individuals in our community, we should commit to being to that change. And whether sa bahay lang, sa office, or sa gobyerno, no, we should be an agent of change. Let's build our country, Philippines, where women don't just survive, but thrive. No? Because girl, kapag empowered ang babae, empowered din yung buong bayan natin. That would be all for my discussion for today's class.